Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hi, Kyla and Brady. I hope your week off, 9 days off, were exceptional, other than the news that we're not going back to school this year, he said with bitter, dark humor. No, I mean, I'm very sad about it, obviously. I've had a few days to recover from the news. It's I don't know how to characterize it other than it's a sad and bizarre and strange and Murphy's Law kind of year. So anyway, I'm sorry on behalf of you guys and certainly on behalf of our seniors. I have no idea what's going to happen with them with regards to graduation. I have no idea what's going to happen next year. I have no idea what's going to happen in September. This is the strangest sort of 6-7 weeks of my life, obviously, and yours too, I'm sure. You being so much younger than I am. Anyway, carry on we must, and here I am to introduce chapter LXVII, which is chapter 67, if memory serves, if my brain has not melted down in the midst of this coronavirus. It is entitled An Exceptional Wife. I'm going to read the introduction to you. Bring my sort of cursor over here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, I don't need it right now. Anyway, I'm going to read it to you. Read along with me, please. This is, again, events that are happening at the end of the Republic, as the Republic is sort of like just dissipating and crashing into itself by the events that have unfolded up to now, Civil War, etc. I pray it doesn't happen to us someday. Anyway, here we go. Read along with me. As you learned in chapter 54, it was customary in Rome for a family member to deliver a laudatio funebris in praise of a person who had died. The readings in this chapter come from such a speech delivered by a husband in praise of his deceased wife. We do not know the identity of the couple, but two important things become clear from the reading this inscription. The first is the genuine love that existed between the husband and wife. You know from Book 2, that's the Green Book, that it was usual for a girl's parents to arrange a marriage for her, and presumably this was the case for the wife described here. Although the practice of arranged marriages may seem strange today, there is abundant evidence that in many cases a strong bond developed between the partners. Side note here, I can attest to to the fact that having been locked into my house with my family for 6 weeks now, a strong bond has definitely been re-edified or strengthened. You know, not that I was ever distant from them, but the one good thing that has come from this is that I've been with my wife and my 2 or often 3 kids during this whole thing, and we are strengthened in our bonds. There's no doubt about it. I've been having a great time with them, even though it's been, sad and weird the same way. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry, I'm picking up where I left off here. The author of this speech leaves no doubt about his affection and admiration for his wife and cites many examples of their mutual love. Second, this inscription gives us some insight into how women functioned in the legal and social environment of the late Republic. Under Roman law, a woman usually had to be under the guardianship of a male relative and could not manage her property or take legal actions on her own behalf. In practice, however, things were more complicated. Some women did take active measures to look out for their own interests or those of their husbands. The woman described in this oration inherited property from her father, who died shortly after she was married. Some of her relatives tried to invalidate the will so that they could obtain the property. Yeah, this kind of thing happens these days too. Her husband praises her energetic and successful efforts to prevent this from happening in his absence. After Antony, Octavian, and Lepidus formed the Second Triumvirate in 43 BC, see chapter 56b, they outlawed a number of their enemies, including the husband who delivered this speech. You will read below how his wife took great risks to save him. This woman was not the only one who took decisive action to save her husband during the proscriptions. The historian Appian of Alexandria describes in Book 4 of his Roman Histories a number of such women, and here are some. The wife of Apuleius threatened that if he should flee without her, she would give information against him. So he took her with him unwillingly, and he succeeded in avoiding suspicion in his flight by traveling with his wife and his male and female slaves in a public manner. The wife of Antiochus wrapped him up in a clothes bag and gave the bundle to some porters to carry from the house to the seashore, whence he made his escape to Sicily. For you youngins, whence means from which place. The wife of Reginus concealed him by night in a sewer into which the soldiers were not willing to enter in the daytime on account of the foul odor, of course. The next night she disguised him as a charcoal dealer and furnished him with an ass to drive, carrying coals. Lucretius, who had been wandering about with 2 faithful slaves and had become destitute of food, set out to find his wife, by whom he was concealed between the planks of a double roof until his friends got his name erased from the proscription. This kind of stuff still happens in the world. It really does. It still happens in the world, and it happened back then. Whenever politics go against you, and God save you from that someday, there will be this kind of shenanigans going on, and it's an interesting story. Anyway, so I will ask you to work on reading A, and you can create your own Google document today. And please, share it with me, and let's make that good for all readings here in this chapter. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure that you're a little maybe out of practice, but if questions arise, and they will, then please get in touch with me, because you're being graded for accuracy going forward here, okay? Take care. I miss you.